protected place that is home to the largest non-polar ice fields in the world, and 17 of Canada's 20 tallest mountains, including Mount Logan, the highest peak in Canada. Ancient glaciers feed the Alsek River that flows through the sprawling Alsek Valley. Tall sheep, mountain goats, caribou, wolves, grizzlies and black bears all roam various parts of the massive park. Travelers on the two highways that run alongside the park's border are often treated to the opportunity to watch bears near the side of the road. Depending on the season, dull sheep can be spotted grazing or resting on the mountainsides. Watch them through the telescopes of the Tackle Visitor Center, or lace up your hiking boots and climb up for a closer look. The numerous hikes throughout the park range from short family-friendly trails to epic multi-day backcountry expeditions. Flight seeing tours are a quick way to get deep into the park and soar past mountains, over valleys and up to the ice fields. Land and step out onto a glacier to take in the vast, breathtaking surroundings. Some adventurers choose to experience Kluane on the water by rafting a Canadian heritage river to see grizzlies, eagles and glaciers. Paddling Kathleen Lake is slower paced, but every bit as beautiful. This recreational area includes campsites, a day-use site and trails. Admire wildflowers on an easy stroll along the lake shore, or hike up to the Cirque of Kings Throne for a stunning view of the lake and landscape. For a look at the entire region, visit the Kluane National Park and Reserve Visitor Center to view a 3D topographical model. The giant floor map at the Dakwakada Cultural Center gives another perspective by presenting the many sites valued by the Champagne Aishihik First Nations. The park is within their traditional territory, and the center is a chance for visitors to learn about the interesting cultural and historical significance of the region. The Kluane National Park and Reserve Visitor Center is housed in the Dakwakada Cultural Center in Haines Junction, so this one stop has a huge amount of helpful information and interesting exhibits. For guidelines on hiking, rafting, overnight camping and interacting with wildlife in the park, visit Parks Canada. World-famed mountain biking, the Midnight Sun and Northern Lights, epic paddling and dog sledding, fascinating gold rush history, unconventional and untamed. The Yukon territory has all those things. But if it's sweeping natural grandeur you're seeking and a foray into untamed wilderness, you'll want to visit Kluane National Park and Reserve, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and place that defies hyperbole. Near the Alaska border, this is one of the planet's largest protected wild areas. It's incredibly colorful, with unusual geography, dramatically carved mountain ranges, 2,000 glaciers, and Canada's largest ice field. What's perhaps most impressive is the vast scale of everything. Visit during the brief, spectacular summer from mid-June to early September, keeping in mind that winter conditions are omnipresent. Because most of the park is not accessible by road, you'll most likely be flying in via a small Cessna or helicopter, or packing in. Go easy on a fun day trip or go hard on an extreme backcountry adventure. Here's how to explore the land UNESCO calls an empire of mountains and ice. Although Kluane is 24.2 million acres of wilderness, it's surprisingly accessible by air. Just an hour's drive from the outdoorsy capital Whitehorse, it's a great jumping off spot to tackle the Yukon's best day hikes. Most people access the park from Haines Junction, a village 100 miles from Whitehorse. Camp or stay in a hotel there. The Raven Hotel is the cushiest choice. Get background info, maps and condition reports, and First Nations history at the Kluane National Park and Reserve Visitor Center there, then venture out. Unless you're wilderness savvy, it's best to hire a guide, such as one with Yukon adventures. There are no trails, only routes. Top choices include the King's Throne, a tough, 8-hour vertical slog that reveals dazzling vistas over Kathleen Lake and the surrounding valleys. Bushwhack and cross creeks for 2 to 4 days along the Quill Creek route, looking out for peakers, Dall sheep, and grizzlies. In summer, wildflowers make a brilliant backdrop to the Oriole Range in magenta, oranges, and greens. The St. Elias Lake Trail is an easy-going 2 to 4 hour hike through varied terrain. Rent a canoe you can use when you get to the lake or go fishing. Raft the glacier-fed Anzac River, a Canadian heritage river that flows 155 miles through the park, past the second highest coastal range on Earth, and on into British Columbia and Alaska. Snaking through towering valleys, sand dunes, and shifting ice floes, the area is populated by grizzlies, mountain goats, and golden eagles. Nahanni River adventures can take you out on the Anzac and also the Class 3/4 Tatshin, a National Geographic Top 10 rafting river, for an exciting day trip through the St. Elias Range. Backcountry canoeing and kayaking, only for the experienced, are nothing less than incredible. Biking. Cycling is a great way to explore Kluane National Park, credit, Government of Yukon, Derek Pro. Zip down single-track routes and along old mining roads. Favorites include the scenic 32-mile Alsek Valley Trail, 28-mile Funmush Lake Road, and rough 53-mile Cottonwood Trail with several sporty creek crossings. And in some backcountry overnights. For serious cyclists, there's an annual relay from Haines Junction to Haines, Alaska. You'll feel like you're at the top of the world on a sightseeing excursion, the best way to comprehend the enormous scale of this park. Buzz around Canada's highest peak 19,555-foot Mount Logan and traverse the planet's largest non-polar ice fields on a quick half-hour trip or take to the skies for several hours. You can also get dropped off and embark on a backpacking adventure or day hike in the remote interior. Booked with several operators, including Kluane Glacier Air Tours and Rocking Star Adventures. Winter activities. Tour Kluane by snowmobile in winter. Winter is a special time to explore the quiet expanses of the Great White North. February and March are the best months for dog sledding, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, ice fishing, and backcountry camping for the hearty. Kathleen Lake is the wintertime day-use area. Camping. Camping at Kluane Lake. A short drive from town, Kathleen Lake is the most popular easy-access spot, with 39 first-come, first-served spacious sites and fantastic views, hiking and boating, but you can often still feel like you've got the place to yourself. Open May to September. Backpack and overnight in a handful of backcountry sites or rough camp, virtually everywhere if that's your style. Top spots are around Observation Mountain following the Slim River and with mind-boggling vistas, and along the Cottonwood Trail. Register and buy a backcountry permit before heading out and be sure you are bear aware. Wildlife view. It's hard not to see wildlife year-round at Kluane. Famed for its healthy, diverse grizzly population of 250, plus another 150 black bears. There are also large numbers of the world's largest moose and herds of 4,000 tall sheep, the globe's highest concentration. The park supports big numbers of caribou, mountain goats, and 150 bird species, including golden and bald eagles, Arctic loons, and ptarmigan, plus foxes, wolverines, and timber wolves. You'll see creatures from the water, trail, or from the air. Bring bear spray. You can pick some up in Haines Junction at the village bakery and deli. If your trip takes you in and out of White Horse, here are 5 must-sees. And if you vacation in summer, don't forget you'll have 19 hours of daylight to pack it all in. Junction is a village in Yukon, Canada. It is located at Kilometre 1632, historical mile 1016, of the Alaska Highway at its junction with the Haines Highway, hence the name of the community. According to the 2016 census, the population was 613. Haines Junction is east of Kluane National Park and Reserve. It is a major administrative center for the Champagne and Aishihik First Nations. For around 2,000 years, the Southern Tutchone people had seasonal hunting and fishing camps in the area of present-day Haines Junction. The original name of the area was Dakwakada, a Southern Tutchone word meaning high cache. It was common for Tutchone people to use raised log caches to store food year-round or temporarily while they hunted and fished in an area. The Haines Junction area was also important for trade between the coastal and interior peoples. It lies at the interior end of the Chilkat Pass, one of only 3 passes that allowed travel between the coast and the interior, which was used extensively for trade between the coastal Tlingit and Southern Tutchone people. The current town of Haines Junction was established in 1942 and 1943 during the construction of the Alaska Highway. In 1943, a second highway, the Haines Highway, was built to connect the Alaska Highway with the coastal town of Haines, Alaska, over the Chilkat Pass. Situated at the junction of these 2 highways, Haines Junction was a construction camp and a supply and service center for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers building the highway. The 626-mile, 1,007 kilometers, Haines-Fairbanks Petroleum Pipeline was constructed in 1953 to 55, and a pumping station was built just north of Haines Junction. Native name, Matadana Man, meaning something frozen inside Lake One, is a lake in Yukon, Canada, located south of the town of Haines Junction within Kluane National Park and Reserve. Located at Haines Highway Kilometre 219.7, it hosts a day-use area, a boat launch, a campground, and several hiking trails, including the challenging 3.1 miles, 5 kilometers, ascent to King's Throne, a natural, glacially formed amphitheater overlooking the lake. Kathleen Lake is characterized by exceptionally clear waters and the presence of kokanee salmon, a landlocked population of sockeye living and reproducing solely in freshwater bodies. Kathleen Lake was named for a girl from Berkshire County, Scotland, left behind by William Scotty Hume, 1868 to 1950, a Northwest Mounted Police Constable, Reg. number 2259, stationed on the Dalton Trail from 1900 to 190. Kluane National Park and Reserve, as 1972, 22,013.3 square kilometre, is an area of unclimbed peaks, vast ice fields, clear lakes, glaciers and spectacular wildlife. Tucked in the southwest corner of the Yukon Territory, 150 kilometers west of White Horse, the park contains Canada's highest peak, Mount Logan. It is named after the Yukon's largest lake, which borders the park. The Park and Park Reserve, together with Tatshenshini Alsek Wilderness Provincial Park, BC, and Glacier Bay, Wrangell-St. Elias National Parks in Alaska form the largest international United Nations World Heritage Site in the world, covering some 109 square kilometre. Natural heritage. Surrounding Mount Logan's jagged 6,050 meters summit and dominating the park is the world's largest concentration of ice fields and glaciers. Fringing the glaciers and barren rocky mountain peaks is a narrow green belt of alpine tundra and lush valleys of coniferous and deciduous forests, providing critical habitat for the park's abundant wildlife. The park is well known for its wildlife, including ground squirrels, caribou, moose, grizzly and black bears, bull sheep and mountain goats. Some 150 bird species, from golden eagles to golden crowned sparrows, inhabit the park. Human history. Archaeologists believe humans may have lived in the area after the last ice age. The park is part of the homeland of the Tutchone. Part of the park has reserve status until land claims are settled. Explorers, prospectors, climbers and hunters settled around Kluane beginning in the 1890s. The completion of the Alaska Highway, which runs along its eastern boundary, opened up the area and led to the development of a wildlife reserve in 1942. In 1972 the area was set aside as a national park. Facilities. There is camping at Kathleen Lake, hiking and climbing, or fishing, June to August. There are winter facilities for cross-country skiing, ice fishing and camping. The nearby towns of Haines Junction and Destruction Bay on the Alaska Highway